with us Eric, who is the Chief Solution Architect in Microsoft, uh, and would like to know, what exactly is your role when you say you're the Chief Architect at
Thank you.
Microsoft?
Thank you, Renjan. Thank you, Team DVCOM, for having me today. So, as an architect, my role is to help partners building their solution practices around our AI for business solution workplace, which means that I will partner with their readiness plan, incentive program, go-to-market strategies, and also support them with their first customer win as well.
Okay. So, I mean, I know there is, if you look at GITEX this year, the buzz is around AI.
AI, of course.
Yeah. And I'm sure, in the earlier meetings that we have had, you have come in and spoken about Copilot.
Yeah.
So Microsoft is really rethinking, how collaboration is done. And we could say that this is the, era of Copilot. So, I mean, what would you say into that? I mean,
No, absolutely. I think when we last spoke, I think it was last year or something, when I was setting the state of AI is coming. We have to take it seriously. 2024 was the year of experimenting. People were experimenting AI and see what AI is. But 2025 is all about execution. AI is here to stay. It's no longer a fate. What we've seen, because we did a study this year, in May, that look at the work trends, where work is going, right? So what we saw is that company start to realize that we now have what we call intelligence on tap. So you can have access to intelligence at any single time, right? So our value as employees is no longer going to be just knowledge. We're going to find a way to stay relevant. I know you've asked about is AI going to replace us?
Yeah.
It's important for our employees and company to understand that we now have access to intelligence. And then we just an early stage of our intelligence, which means that as a company, I need to find a way to integrate those intelligence into my workplace, not just to help my employees, but also the spaces that I'm using, right? So because a lot of companies only look at AI to transform their employee and processes, but they're not looking at the spaces. Employees go to the offices because they want to be in a good place. How can I also use those AI tools to enhance our spaces?
So you are saying that AI is not going to replace us, but it's going to elevate what we are doing.
Good question. So what we believe is going to happen, there's going to be three types of employees going forward. AI resistant. Employee that says, so I'm too cool for AI, I don't want to use AI. Don't be that person. You can no longer resist AI. You have to embrace AI. AI literacy, AI fluency is a must. AI dependency, not good, but at least you need to know what AI is. The second level is AI redundant. You're doing something that AI does better than you. You got to be honest about what you're doing, right? If you're a marketer, for instance, or you only do, you create infographic or videos, you got to be careful, right? AI can do this. So you have to look at, is what I'm doing today can be replaced by AI. So those roles need to be careful. What we all need to aspire of being is what we call AI enhanced employee. Employee that use AI to enhance their work. What do I mean by that? It means that as an employee, you need to look at AI as an employee, right? Not just a tool. Because when you look at a tool, there's no empathy when it comes to tools. You pay for a tool, you expect ROI tomorrow. But if you think of AI as an employee, you're going to understand that those tools needs time to understand your company processes, tools that you operated. They might not give you what you want immediately. But by you not thinking as an employee, you give them time to onboard. And when you speak to them, you show empathy. When they make a mistake, you don't complain. Oh, ChatGPT gave me this, Copilot gave me that. You coach them. Hey, Copilot meant X, Y, Z. So it's really, really important for an employee to understand that you have to elevate our mindset and start thinking as an AI enhanced employee, which is an employee that leads those tools. And those tools become your junior intern. So, AI is accommodating intern. It's like an intern that want to help you, but you become a leader.
Yeah.
So don't worry about knowledge. Worry about how am I going to use those AI tools for my
True, especially, when you consider increasing the productivity. So absolutely, isn't it? And so the AI helps in redundant tasks.
100%.
Yeah.
The drudgery work that we're doing, spending too much time in meetings. Right? Imagine you go to a meeting for 2 hours. You're sitting there adding no value.
Exactly.
Your time is valuable. Wow, why are you doing this? You can spend your time somewhere else. I can send AI to listen to that meetings and I come back and say, hey, AI, Copilot, what happened to that meeting? Oh, Renjan said this about you. You have those tasks to do. 5 minutes. I use my time for something else. So preparing team presentations, writing emails. I'm seeing people with Copilot that still write email. I'm like, why are you doing this? Because why? Because they're still thinking as employees. They don't understand that you have an assistant. You have to delegate your tasks. A leader like you understand this. Delegate work. You're not worrying about tasks. You worry about the outcome. So you're not really concerned about who does this, who does that. What you want to know, Eric, I want you to do X, Y, Z. The task is the result. And wait till they still want to own. I wrote their email as if there's anybody on this. There's no point.
But since there are all the meeting summaries and the tasks that you have to do, does it also then it becomes like the if I'm in a meeting, I don't care whether I listen a lot, because in the end it is someone is going to come and the task is going to be already there. Might as well not I slip through the meeting.
Very important. This is why we need leaders to understand is you need to coach your employees properly, right?
Yeah.
Or we're telling them that you use it, we purchasing those digital employees so that you can do your work the best way. When you go to a meeting, because you are empowered to not go to the meeting, if you decide to join a meeting, you should be present.
Yeah.
If I'm paying for Copilot and then you go to a meeting, if you're not listening, now we have a problem, because I save you time. And I'm saying, pick the meeting that we think you're going to be valuable. Only go to those meetings. The one that you have no value, let Copilot does.
Exactly.
You do this and you go to a meeting to your point and say, oh, I don't really mind. Copilot do it for me. Then you become AI redundant. That's what I'm saying. You have to be very careful.
Very
It's
careful.
going to be 3 employees: resistance, redundant, augmented. If you do this, you move into the redundant employee. What's going to be? We don't even need you. Copilot can do this. We can say to this meeting, so if you do this, can't forget. A very, very good point. But yeah, that's how he's on earth.
No, I mean, and also the fact that we as yelling distributors, right? So we have a close association with Microsoft Teams. So so now AI is not just in the cloud.
No,
AI has gone into devices. For example, as far as yelling is concerned, we have AI within the camera itself for
IntelliFrame.
yeah. So IntelliFrame focus, then the fencing.
Yep.
For example, if I have to move out of the meeting room, you define the fence area or the video to be capturing and so on and so forth. So how do you see that AI within devices and
Absolutely. So, what we're saying is that there's 2 forces that completely changed the way we work. The first one was COVID. COVID forced us to accept flexible work as a standard. It's no longer a good to have, it's no. And then ChatGPT came, so the 2 C's transformed in AI.
Exactly.
So we need to understand how can we use this, because flexibility is great, but it also has its shortcoming, right? Flexibility, work from home is great, right? But we see that company, team that really thrive, need some face-to-face time. But if I'm going to the offices and then you're not there, so I drove 2 hours and show you're not there because I got no visibility. So we need to use AI to give visibility to employees that, hey, when you go to the offices, these employees are going to be there, these are going to be there, and those rooms will have the equipment that you need. So when I want to go to the offices, if I need to be on a meeting, I want to ensure that they have cameras, they have the lights. So you want to see that every single time. Now, when I go to those meeting rooms, I'm expecting those devices to also be AI infused. Because this is what I'm using at home. At home, on my laptop, I have Copilot. So when if you ask me to come to the meeting room, so I drove all the way to come to the offices and I sit in the meeting room, and then we have a meeting and I cannot have summarize of meeting, that's a problem. So we asking our partners, Yelling, and so to ensure that they have AI infusing Copilot into their devices, so that when people go to the offices and join a meeting to those devices, experiences is the same. We believe that there should be equity between the remote user and office user every single time. So whatever you have in at home, you should see it when you come to the office in MTR room as well.
So so AI is as far as what we are talking. So AI is basically augmenting. All the tools are there.
Correct.
Is going to augment, whether it be an employee who is at the office or a remote worker, or I have to get my daily tasks done which are redundant. So the productivity is kept because now AI does most of that stuff. But it never takes away that human touch, because I guess because it's not replacing humans from the workspace, but it's only just enabling them to be there.
Absolutely. So we really believe that AI is here to augment us. But let's be clear about this. We're not going to kill anyone. We understand that it's also going to replace some of the work, right? New roles going to be created. Some are going to be eliminated by AI. So we understand this. But to your point, where our value is going to come is our human-to-human generation. So what we need to all understand as some places that knowledge is no longer our key. Me, I was hired because I was an engineer from XYZ. It was my knowledge, right? So in the future, it's not going to be only that. They're going to look at how does Eddie communicate, my communication skills, how do we enable for people. Those are the values that are going to be more and more important as you go forward, because knowledge become available to those schools, right? So if you want to stay relevant, AI augmented, true, you clearly need to understand this. Understand what they can do that you cannot do better, and then start building those leadership skill sets, which is delegation, show empathy, speak with clarity. Those tools do not read they don't read mine. So you have to tell them clearly what you want. So which means that when I want something, I should speak with utmost clarity, like a good leader. When Satya speaks, he says things simpler. You don't have to know fancy words. You understand the strategy easily. That's the good leaders. A good leader should use simple words to transfer the strategy to the employees. So when you speak to those tools, you are the leader. Tell them simply, hey, Copilot, I want you to do X, Y, Z for me in this format, in 5 paragraphs, not 4, and you will see what happens. So that clarity of communication skills need to come in. So we need to start building those skill sets as we go forward.
And I think, even AI is making the meeting room more, it's not just a meeting room, which is just physical devices there, but it now senses, isn't it? I mean, if just like, following the presenter or so on. Yeah, so it's more sensing the person who is there or her. So that makes it more, human, I guess. Making it very, transactional in nature or technical, hardware based, but it's more, bringing that human element when a presenter is being forward, or gestures and so on and so forth, which AI is bringing.
And this is really by design, because this is what we want from our vendors, because we really believe that in every single meeting, everybody should be heard, everybody should be seen and recognized. So if I'm in a meeting and I'm speaking, the camera should follow so that you can see that I'm speaking, right? And when we look at the transcript, they should say, hey, Eric saw it, reconcile. So we should have clear visibility at every single time, in every single meeting, that everyone that joined remotely in the offices are all seen through those cameras. So they move, they see you, they all recognize when they speak.
Exactly.
So they don't just sit there at no value. If I want to raise my hand, I can raise my hand to those MTR, just speak on the raise my hand. You see, I'm raising my hand, right? My time to speak, which is very, very important. Asking our partners by design, ensure that your devices are all inclusive. Because every meeting experience, to your point, should be a human interaction.
So what are the challenges faced, in this level of integration when it comes in between Microsoft and, let's say, hardware, like 𝐻𝐿ink or the other hardwares around? What are the challenges that you face to have this integration, or, is that part of what you do as an architect, or?
No, as an architect, I don't really follow on that piece, but I think what we normally do, we provide our design principle to those vendors. The first one is obviously simplicity. We want all our devices to be simple. One touch, join the meeting, right? Because again, we're looking at that from an employee perspective. I want to come here, click there, I join the meeting. We want them to be AI infused. Again, you can no longer be AI resistant. So all our vendors, as part of the design, they need to bring AI. Now you can be Copilot to some of the functionality, like recap, or you can use AI to frame or to match people as well. Right. And that's what's obviously foundational security. So simplicity, AI infused, when security is our foundation. Now our vendor partners, they take those 3 principles and design their own way, and then we certify those for our customers as well. Yeah.
So, I mean, I think we are just at the beginning of the AI revolution, isn't it? And where do you see this going? I mean, what is the next step? I know, okay, you have all these features that we spoke about. We have transcriptions now, transcriptions that are translated.
Yeah.
But what else, especially AI, you're looking at from a Microsoft.
Yeah, I think that's the revolution, because the problem is that this space is going so fast that it's really difficult for anyone to really predict what's going to happen, right? Imagine 3 years ago, ChatGPT, which obviously changed all this, so as issue doing basic math, as ChatGPT basic math question, it will fail, right? It will be not accurate. Today, ChatGPT is beating PhD in what we call Google Proof GITEX for. So you can see in 3 years' time, the level of change that happens. We come to know AI just being tremendous. So we see this continue to happening. We see those changes continue to rapidly advance. So what we want to do with those changes is really continue to simplify the life of our employees and customers. For us, we're using AI to simplify our work, not just for the sake of being simplified, so that we can use this time to be more creative. Because for a company, what is the value of AI? The value of AI is going to become true innovation.
Truly.
A lot of customers use AI as a cost-cutting play. That's a wrong play. You got to use AI for your top line, exactly. For the bottom line. A lot of customers are going to cost another. We believe that if you use AI the right way, you train your user, your employee the right way, they're going to be more creative. We all need to go back to be creative. I think let's be honest about it. As employees, we spend a lot of our time doing low-value interaction. This is busy. I was just busy doing this. And that become my work, right? And I stopped being creative. I even stopped learning. Well, there was no time for me to learn at this. Nothing. AI, you have this time. There's no more excuse. That's why you should all go back to being.
And you have it at your fingertips.
But everything, hey, just asking. Today I was a call with one of our partners who asked me a question. I'm like, I don't have an answer, but let's say ask Copilot. And this is what I'm doing. I'm no longer pretending to be an expert. I don't do this anymore.
Or taking a picture now, Copilot allows you that. if there's a
pictures and then it tell you what.
I was thinking, when the car has an issue, so can I take a picture of the car and then see that?
It will tell you what to do on the spot.
Yeah.
This is where we're going. People need to accept this. It's okay to not know what you want to drive is outcome. So we want to build solutions that drive outcome, not task. Task is going to be done by the employee. We're going to be in a place where it's going to be human-led, Asian-operated. And so don't worry about task, worry about the outcome. What did Renjan ask me to do as my KPI this fiscal year? How I do it should not be your concern. If I use Copilot, I'm using this, that's not your show. You give me your task and I deliver. And I'm really to understand this. Let's stop holding to the fact that I did it on this. I know this. Because in no time it's going to be no more added value.
And but I'm rally for that. Yeah. No, I was also thinking, like for example, as far as these devices are concerned, today we are conscious about AI.
Right.
For example, I need to know how to prompt ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Or Copilot. I need to download, and then I'm starting to use. I'm very conscious of the AI element. So do you foresee that it could become like electricity, which we are not conscious about, but you are enjoying the benefit of that. The light is burning, and we are being enabled by all those. The devices are running.
Yeah.
So do you foresee where I'm not thinking about the AI?
Yeah.
But it's enabling my productivity through the day. Do you see that?
I was always pattern. That's why we GPT stand for. Is that the real? It's not the real. When we say it's a general purpose technology, it's really meant to become like a commodity. It's like electricity. So we in 5 years' time, nobody should be able to say I'm AI native. That would be like saying I'm internet native. Nobody will care because that will become So they still a fancy step some AI native, but you're right. The future is for those things to become commodity. Right? We don't even know they're there. They're just there, and we use them whenever we need them. So that's why we say, to your point, because it's a general purpose technology. Because when I would say, oh, what about this industry? No, AI can be used on every single industry. It's not meant for one industry personally. It's really meant, to your point, to become commodity that we just use whenever we need it.
Sure.
That's how we see the future's going.
Sure. And how about the adoption in UAE? I mean, how are you seeing?
So adoption has been where I think it's not just a UAE problem. I think adoptions, to what I was saying earlier, require a company to ask their employee to unlearn what they've learned for long. So, to come and ask me, hey, you know what, your knowing Copilot is not under important for us. We need to do something different. It's different for me to accept this because that was my value all the time. I'm the Copilot guy. So they come here, Copilot can do this better. I need to unlearn this and start learning different skill sets, which I was never trained to do. I wasn't trained to be a leader. I was trained to be a doer. So do this. Right? I'm not a master. But now they ask me to lead those tools, right? So I need to be able to change my mindset. That lead to employees resisting using this because they don't have the tool to use this properly. What they're going to do, they're going to ask one questions. They get a bad responses. They're not using it.
That's it.
Because it's a doer mentality. A leader will coach. A leader will say, okay, you made a mistake. Let me coach you. But employee will say, no, I tried. It's not working. Why am I using this? So that bring our adoption a little bit back. That's why we believe that to drive that adoption, it requires leadership involvement. We believe that leadership will have ABC. They should be active and visible. People should see using Copilot. They should build coalition between the leaders because sometimes the CEO says, let's use it. CFO says, I don't want to use it. That's a problem. And the last one is communicate directly to the employee. Say, hey, we're using this because of XYZ. Let them understand the end goal of the company. We want to drive ourselves by XYZ numbers so they can clearly see the impact of them using this to this. If we don't do this, I just hope that they're going to use immediately. It's just not going to happen. It's going to happen. It just disturbs too much of their workplace. It's just too much for us to accept. First, you're going to replace me. You're going to do this. You're going to just put them at ease. Say, no, you're not being replaced. You just be elevated.
Exactly. So there should be a conscious education.
And that requires us to unlearn. Because what a lot of people, that's the thing, that's the problem, right? A lot of people want to.
Happens with any new technologies that come.
That's it, right? Because people always want to upskill. Upskill means that whatever I have, no. You got to forget what you learned. But this is different from what we never been in an era where knowledge was available at this point. I mean, it never happened before. So there's no precedence for us to go back and say, back in the days we have this. No. It's not a calculator. It's not the car. It's none of this. This is really transformational. It requires us to really change our mindset as employees, which we were never trained to do. So company need to invest in giving their employees foundational management skill set and then clearly explain them why we need to use this and why it's important. What is important for the company is outcome. We're driving outcome, not task. You doing 20 meetings a day does not bring me anything. So what is the outcome? You do one. I'd rather you do one meeting and drive the outcome. That's what as a leader, that's what I want. I don't want you to be in 20 meetings and you show me zero outcome at the end. I'd rather you do one meeting, you probably does the rest, and you show me the impact.
Exactly.
When you really understand this, then there's less fear of the tool because they go, oh, dude, help me. Help me get to the result a little faster because now I can deliver this to the bosses with no fear. But today I'm fearful because he's going to raise me. So that's why leadership involvement is absolutely critical for driving adoption. That's scary.
I think that was a wonderful discussion. To close, I would just ask, if you had to define the human advantage in one sentence, what it would be?
Empathy. Empathy, right? So empathy and emotional intelligence. I think as long as we have emotional intelligence, I think we should be fine.
Exactly.
I always
That has to care, isn't it? Because the devices don't care or the AI doesn't care.
EQ would need IQ every single time.
Yeah.
As long as we have EQ, we're going to be fine. How do we know this? When you see a child with his mom, who is smarter? The mom, but who control the kid? Because the kid is emotional intelligence. He knows how to control his mom by crying. So as long as we have this emotional intelligence over this machine, we should be fine.
So I would summarize and say that the future of work is not AI driven, but AI partnered. That would be the right.
You drop the mic. I have nothing else to say. This is it.
Thank you so much, Eric, for taking your busy schedule to be here to chat with us at the DVCOM stand.
No, my pleasure.
Yeah, pleasure, and for all of us, it was enriching, and many others who are going to listen to this and they come.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate being here with you guys today.
Pleasure.
Thank you.